Hi, this is Sherry Veronica, and this article was in the Nation News yesterday, and I had a small conversation with some females, and I thought that I should talk about it. I feel that if this goes on in the world, the abuse of children and the abuse of adults, it happens in all aspects of our lives. I think if it continues, we're going to leave the world in a darker place than we found it. Okay, if you came from slavery, if your ancestors were slaves, you have got to stand up straighter than the average person. You're going to have to push harder. You're going to have to do more. You're going to have to expect more of yourselves if you came from ancestors who were enslaved. If you're born in Barbados or any island that has slavery, you're going to have to put it in your mind. You don't want to, you like the romance, but you're going to have, at one point or another, you're going to have to fix your mind to know, yes, you were probably abused. 99% chance you were abused. You do not know when you were bouncing on someone's leg what their thoughts were. It's the thought, it's the words, it's the deed. So the deed did not happen, but you don't know what the thought was. You don't know what the words were. You don't know if opportunity showed up, what would have happened. You're lucky. We've been lucky, but a lot of people, a lot of children are not so lucky. Okay, so when you start to add romance to these things, you're going to leave the world in a darker place, and you would have failed. You would have failed as a human being. As a human being, you would have failed if you came into this world and you left and it's worse off. You did not do anything. You just sat and you watched. You did nothing. You did nothing. You would have failed. Now, this particular issue in Barbados and all over the world probably, especially, as I said, in places that were touched by slavery, this is something that is rampant. It's rampant. To sit in my blog, to sit in my chat and say, oh, it never happened to me. You're fooling yourself. You're wrapped up in romance. You're wrapped up in romance. Okay? It did happen to you. It did happen to you. It doesn't have to go to the physical part of it. But like I said, you cannot get into the minds of people. You don't know when they see you, what thoughts are going through their heads. You don't know. You don't know. So please come out of the romance so we can leave this world in a better place than how we found it. Okay? Let's do it for children. You guys are walking around and having kids, right? You're pushing these kids out. Do it for your kids. Do it for your kids. Okay? Leave the world in a better place than you found it, and always know that when you leave your kids with strangers, you've put them in peril. You've put them in peril. Even if it's an uncle, a cousin, a step this, a step that, whatever it is, you have to keep your eyes on your children. You have to be the babysitter of your own children. You have to be there for them when you take them to the school for education. You have to make sure that the teachers are vetted. Make sure you take your kids to a school where the teachers are vetted, where they're giving lie detector tests every school term. Every school term. You have to protect your children. You have to work to make this world a better place, because if you're just like doing something and saying, oh, well, it happened, what next? You have no thought, you have no plans, you're not doing anything to make things better. You are part of the problem. You are part of the problem that we see in this world. You are part of the pain. You are part of the abuse. You are part of the problem. Okay? So get your minds straight. Get your minds straight. We should not be living in a world where we are afraid, where we are violated. And it's not only children. adults, wives, significant others, girlfriends, if the person you're with is lying to you, cheating on you, whatever, they're not faithful in their relationship, you're being violated. Like I've said on many blogs, women don't even know when they're being raped. You don't even understand what rape is. So it's a big problem. It's a huge problem, okay? And to think that people need to pull all of it, oh, that happened 10 years ago, that happened 15 years ago, it happened 2 years ago, what? To think that it doesn't stay with you, you are sorely mistaken. You are sorely mistaken. Come out of the romance. Come out of the silly romance you have yourself in and come into reality. This is a serious matter. And if you do not step up to the plate, if you do not step up to fix it and be part of the solution, be a part of the solution, okay? If you don't step up to do that, you're going to leave the world in a bad place, in a dark place, and you are to blame. You are part of the pain and the abuse that the world is seeing. Sherry Veronica.